Hello everyone, we are the Falah Seekers. Microfinance is a Sharia-compliant financial system that provides interest-free, ethical financial services to the poor. It aims to reduce poverty and promote social justice through tools like profit sharing, microcredit, and charitable endowment, aligning finance with Islamic moral values.
Islamic microfinance uses various Sharia-compliant contracts to serve low-income communities while avoiding interest-based transactions. The most widely used model is murabaha, while the institution buys a product and resells it to a client at a markup. It's easy to implement but often criticized for being too similar to conventional loans, offering limited empowerment. Next is musyarakah, a partnership where both parties invest and share profit and losses. It reflects Islamic values of a mutual risk but is used less often due to its complexity and need for strong trust. Qard Hasan is charitable, interest-free loan to meet the basic need. It supports the poor ethically, but since it brings no profit to the institution, it's harder to sustain in the long term.
What are the opportunities in Islamic microfinance? Let's look into it. Many Muslims avoid conventional loans because of interest. So, how do they grow their business? Islamic microfinance steps in with halal financing like murabaha and Qard Hasan to help small entrepreneurs grow. It goes further. Zakat and Wakaf can fund the poorest, giving them a start without burden. Islamic microfinance isn't just finance, it's empowerment with faith. #halal finance, #ethical growth.
And welcome back to the podcast. Today we're diving into something really interesting: the power of Islamic microfinance and how it's actually changing lives by fighting poverty and empowering rural communities. So, let's get into it. Now, to help us understand how this works, I'm joined by Shufiera, who will help explain more about this.
Thanks, host. It is great to be here. I am really excited to talk about this topic because Islamic microfinance is not just a financial tool. It is a value-based system that helps people lift themselves out of poverty with dignity. Islamic microfinance helps people, especially those excluded from traditional banks, by offering interest-free, culture-free loans through contracts like Qard Hasan and Murabaha. Clients did not just appreciate the financial help, they appreciate the respectful, dignity-based approach. Many use the loan to start small business like tailoring or selling goods, which help them improve their household income and build confidence. What is really powerful is how the institution treated people. There were no harsh repayment tactics. In fact, the study shared a story about a non-Muslim father who took a card loan to cover medical costs. Later on, when he recovered financially, he came back not for another loan, but to donate. That is the kind of impact this system creates.
That's incredible. And it sounds like this model goes beyond just numbers. It's about relationships and trust.
Exactly! Islamic microfinance is faith-based and ethical. It avoids interest and focuses on justice, fairness, and share risk. Globally, tools like Qard Hasan, Murabaha, and Murabah has been used in everywhere.
That's amazing. And I imagine this kind of finance really matters in rural areas too?
Absolutely. The study found that women were a large part of the borrowers, especially in rural areas. Many use the loan for home-based services, informal rental, which are flexible jobs that work well when women managing households. What is great is that clients love how simple and personal the application process was. There were no complicated requirements or collateral. The team behind the loan took time to understand each client's unique situation. That really shows how Islamic microfinance builds not just income, but community peace and long-term empowerment.
That's such a powerful message. It's not just about giving money. It's about building trust, restoring dignity, and supporting people who need it the most. Shufiaira, thank you so much for sharing these insights today.
Thank you, host. I'm glad I could share this, and I hope more people start to see Islamic microfinance not just as an alternative, but as a real solution to poverty and exclusion.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wanabila binti Sila and my matrix number is 2317734. Now, I will be explaining the key challenges faced by Islamic microfinance institution, or we call it as IMFIs. First point refers to lack of fund and skilled staff because many IMFIs face a serious lack of money and trained workers. Without enough funding or proper staff, it's hard to manage operations smoothly or expand services to more people. Second point referring to no standard Sharia rules because there is no single set of Sharia rules followed by all countries. Because of this, what is considered Islamic in one place might not be accepted in another. This creates confusion and lowers trust among clients. Third point are referring to no profit from interest because unlike regular banks, Islamic microfinance cannot charge interest because it is not allowed in Islam. Its limits this limit how they make money. As a result, many IMFIs depends on donation or government helps, which is not always reliable. 4 points are referring to balancing charity and business because IMFIs are expected to help the poor, but they also need to survive in terms of financially. Balancing social goals with business needs is difficult, especially without strong revenue streams. Fifth points are referring to low awareness and access because in non-Muslim majority or remote area, many people don't know about Islamic microfinance or cannot access it. This limits the impact of this service. Lastly, updated system, usually many MFIs still use old system and lack digital tools. This makes it harder to manage operation efficiently or growth in today's fast-moving world. So, to conclude the challenges of Islamic microfinance, while Islamic microfinance has good intention, it still faces big challenges like limited funding, unclear rules, low awareness, and weak system. Solving these issues is important to help it succeed and reach more people. I think that's all for challenges. So I will pass to the next presenter. I will proceed to the next part, which is conclusion of our discussion on Islamic microfinance. Next one is role and purpose. Islamic microfinance plays an important role in solving basic problems within the Islamic economic system, such as poverty, financial exclusion, and injustice. It's not just about money, it's a moral and social institution based on Sharia principles and Maqasid Sharia. Next, the most used Islamic contracts includes Murabaha, Qardul Hasan, Musyarakah, and Mudarabah. Among these, Murabaha is the most common due to its simplicity, but it lacks the participatory and empowering elements that Islamic finance encourage. Innovation and future direction. Many researchers suggest combining Islamic microfinance with Islamic fintechs, zakat, and wakaf to create more sustainable and large-scale solutions. These hybrid models can reach more people and have a stronger impact. However, challenges and recommendation. The sector still face major challenges like financial limitation, regulatory issues, and weak institutional capacity. To move forward, we need more Sharia standardization, innovative solutions, and stronger institutions. But not least, we'll end our presentation with the right efforts. Islamic microfinance can help build a more just and inclusive financial system while staying true to the spiritual and economic goals of Islamic economy. I think that's all from our group. Thank you.